Hey, that guy with the glasses. You know, I was going to do a top 10 movie monsters video today, but last night I saw Inception, and I just can't conceive of talking about something else. I can't imagine sitting here talking about movie monsters when I've just seen that film. Now, most of my That Guy with the Glasses videos are full of cuts to clips of films, me talking but with the clips playing over it, all sorts of stuff like that. This is not like that. This is just me talking, and if I make mistakes or spend too much time thinking about what I'm trying to say, or I go for far too long and look like an idiot, I implore your forgiveness. This is all extemporaneous, and I have a statement to make, and this statement is probably going to come across to a lot of people as just the grossest hyperbole in the history of hyperbole. Well, actually, that in itself is a hyperbole, but okay. So that doesn't bode well for my case if I'm already making hyperboles in my warning that what I'm about to say is going to sound like a hyperbole, but it's not a hyperbole. Okay, so maybe it is a hyperbole, but here it goes. Inception is the greatest movie I have ever seen. Now, okay, I know what you're going to say. Look, there are people who every summer, they go to every summer blockbuster, and after each one they say, that was the best movie I ever seen. You know, they go to Transformers, that was the best movie I've ever seen. Then they go to Transformers 2, no, that was the best movie I've ever seen. Then they go to Iron Man 2 and they say, no, that was the best movie I've ever seen. I am not like that. For a long time, my favorite films of all time have consistently been Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai and Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. These are the only two films that have scored a perfect 10 on the TJ scale, because I typically rate movies from 1 to 10 in my head. Scotty, my brother, asked me last night after we saw Inception, what did you give it? And he means on a scale from 1 to 10. And I said, I don't know. I have to think about it. And the reason I had to think about it was because I was trying to decide whether it deserves a 9 or a 10. Because the implications of giving this movie a 10 are so huge for me personally. Because I have only given 2 other movies a 10, as I've said. And if I give this movie a 10, then that means that I am saying it is equivalent to Clint Eastwood's best movie, and he is a terrific director, and it is equivalent to Akira Kurosawa's best movie, and he is considered one of the greatest directors of all time. So, if I am prepared to give Inception a 10, that means that I am considering Chris Nolan among the great heavyweights of all time. Now, for some people, that's not going to be too big of a shock. I mean, he's made, I think, something like 6 or 7 films, and 4 of them are on IMDb's top 250 films of all time. And those of them that aren't probably should be. Okay. I've decided to give it a 10. Obviously. Is it better than Unforgiven? Well, it has a lot in common with Unforgiven, actually. It's about a man with a haunted past, with 2 children and a dead wife. He's trying to run away from his dark past, but no matter how much he runs away from it, he ends up reveling in it. So which movie does that character better? Because in a lot of ways, they're the same archetype. I have to say that as much as I love and adore Clint Eastwood, Leonardo DiCaprio and Christopher Nolan did it better. They did it with greater humanity. You sympathize more with the character. You truly... I mean, and Leonardo DiCaprio's performance in this movie is incredible. His best performance. And think about what that means by itself. Leonardo DiCaprio is Martin Scorsese's favorite actor to work with right now. This is a kid who's been directed by James Cameron, by Steven Spielberg, by by Scorsese, like, what, 4 or 5 times now. And it wasn't until Chris Nolan directed him that he turned in his best performance. The implications of that are gigantic by themselves. Does that mean that Nolan is a better director than Scorsese? I'm not saying that. But I am saying that this is the director that Scorsese most likes to work with, and yet his best performance is in Inception. Ellen Page also does a terrific job in this movie. In fact, everyone does a terrific job in this movie. I don't remember all the actors' names, but they were all good. Cillian Murphy was in it. He was great. Everyone was fucking fantastic. The story is the most complex thing I've ever seen in my life. And I knew when I was going into the theater and there were little troops of teenage girls coming out of the theater as I was heading in, and they were heading out from the last showing, and I heard them saying things like, "Oh my god, that was just so weird, I didn't understand anything, it was too complicated," I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. Because if these idiots hate it, then I'm almost guaranteed to love it. And I never had any idea how much I was going to love this movie. When I read the Rotten Tomatoes score, I think it's something like 85, 86, 87, it's in the 80s. I thought, okay, well, then I'm probably going to go see a movie that's pretty good, even bordering on greatness, but probably just falls short a little bit. And I have to say, whatever critics are out there giving this movie a bad review, they should not be taken seriously any fucking more. They're idiots, they're posers, and they should be laughed at, mocked, and tomatoes should be thrown in their general direction. That might sound a little bit harsh, but you know what? I don't care. Fuck them. This movie is fucking excellent. It is, Inception, it should be called perfection. I am in awe. And this is all tentative, though, mind you. I've only seen it once. I really need to see a film at least 3 or 4 times before I can really judge it against other films. But this is my initial gut reaction to the movie. One of the standards that I have for what I consider to be a great film is that I have to be able to watch it over and over again with no diminished enjoyment. I can watch Unforgiven pretty much any day of the week. If you put it on, I will watch it, and I will enjoy it as much as I did the very first time I saw it. The same goes for Seven Samurai. It doesn't matter what mood I'm in, it doesn't matter what else is going on in the world around me. If you put that movie on and sit my ass down in front of it, within 15 minutes I will be transfixed. And I suspect that Inception is the same way. I know that good reviews generally aren't that interesting. To hear some other person gushing about a movie, it's really not as fascinating as hearing someone say, "Oh, that was a piece of shit. I can't believe that. It was garbage. It was utter fucking trash." But getting back to a point that I made earlier and then digressed away from, it is extraordinarily complex. It's very fucking difficult to understand. I saw it with a student of chemistry and a political science person, and they were both kind of like, it was really good, but I don't know if I quite follow the plot. And I'm just count myself lucky that I've always had the ability to follow extraordinarily complex plots. And I think that even though I do have a few lingering questions, I for the most part was able to follow the story, but a lot of people are probably going to find it pretty difficult. The thing about it is, too, that it's not, you don't bring your kids. I was sitting next to a little kid. The little kid was just like, what's going on? Constantly asking his parent questions. Don't bring children. And if you're a teenage girl, I don't even know why you'd be watching me if you were a teenage girl. But if you are a teenage girl, then maybe skip this one. Wait until you're in your 30s or something. Then go see it. Sorry if that's sexist. I guess that's all I have to say. But incredible fucking movie. Once again, a lot of this is tentative. I have to wait till I see it a few more times. I'm going to go see it again this Tuesday. But as of one viewing, that is my opinion of the film. And anyone who was lukewarm about the idea of seeing it, go see it. Go watch it right now. Go to the theater, pay the money. Don't see it on the fucking internet. That's pathetic. Go to the movie theater. I don't care if you have $8 and your choice is you can go buy medicine for your grandma or you can see this movie. The bitch will be fine. Go see fucking Inception. Alright. I guess that's all. I've never been good at closing videos, so be gone.